I'm
Okay,
trying to
we're
figure out what I
gonna.
want to get into because so much I want to talk about right now.
I know that's what we were saying too over here. So what we're gonna do is we're on air. I'm gonna introduce everybody, talk about your channels. John, I think you still have to mute your mic until it's your turn. 'Cause I'm getting feedback.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right, guys, sorry about that. Hello, fans. Okay, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I don't know if we're going to be able to squeeze it all in, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves, their channel, their website, and what services they provide. And so we'll start across the screen, and we'll start with Allorah.
Okay. Well, first I just want to tell everybody my channel is youtube.com/user/Allorah Rayne, if you want to check that out. As far as the shop is concerned right now, we're still running that special on the full soul origin profile, so if you want to get one of those that is discounted, that ends August 1st.
John, hold on. John, can you mute your mic? Sounds like somebody's getting beat up over there. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry, Allorah.
That's okay. I was just going to say, if you wanted to get a 15% off deal, that ends August 1st. So just go to etsy.com/shop/arcanewisecraft, and then when you check out, type in the code Atlantis, and you'll get 15% off of a full soul origin profile. And I've had a lot of people already, so take advantage while you can.
Yeah, and I saw somebody did a really great testimonial for you, right?
That was actually Jen Embers. Do you guys know her?
Yeah, I've heard of her.
Yeah, she does a lot of intuitive readings and stuff. She was so funny. She needed it like that day, and she was like, "Can you please do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, no problem." And yeah, so that was her. And yeah, I'm really.
Oh, she's from Broom and the Moon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, I love her. I love her. She's freaking awesome. That girl's hot. Okay, so then next is Daya. Daya, tell us a little bit about your website and what you're providing.
My website is Oasis, and the YouTube channel is the same. I do higher self channelings, well, spiritual channelings. I do astrology analysis, not a full astrology chart, but I'll look at, well, if you want that, that's something totally different. But I look at, you know, relationships, money are the two, money analysis, relationship analysis are the two ones I'm offering with that. And then, she took me off. And then, you know, I do oracle readings, and I also do spiritual counseling. So those are the services that I offer. But the spiritual counseling I do is more so dark work spiritual counseling, whereas opposed to you know, going outward and looking at all the things that affected you. I take people inward and look at how you reacted to it. So I do the flip side.
Well, and then when we did the healing event, that healing ceremony, you know, we spoke with all three of the women who got charts from you, and they were just like, oh my God, that was like so amazing. You were so on point, and they were so happy with it because they asked specific questions, and you gave them, through the chart no less, you gave them specific answers in the mini chart. And I can only imagine if you did a full chart, that would just be off the hook. All right, so then John's next.
What's up, everybody? You probably guys already know me. My YouTube channel, I'm getting it started up. It's El Mago Blanco, ELMAGOBLANCO 35. Just type it in one word and you'll find me there. I am an alchemist. I do high magic, and I'm more like, you know, more towards into like the occult side of things. So like I'm more into like magic and that type of stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much who I am. Like I said, El Mago Blanco 35. Find me there. I have a lot of more videos coming up, so just watch out.
All right, cool. Well, I mean, we always find everything that you talk about, I find anyway, personally fascinating because somehow it ties into what we're doing. And then, Marion, we're just introducing everybody. Quentin's next, and then any specials that you have going on your channel. You know, you can talk about that or what you're doing. I know you have a lot going on. So, Quentin, just tell us. I know you just started a channel and you just started doing videos.
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Bravehawk. My channel is Unveiled Moonlight. I'm also connected to Oasis.
Yeah.
We like to tag team people and do readings with them. So. I also do I Ching, and I do tarot cards, and I do channel as well. And that's basically it.
Yeah. I mean, when you guys did your, I got to catch part of it the last full moon event that you guys did, and I felt that you were way, like, so right on point when you were talking intuitively, when you were just going with it without, you know, without anything else. I was like, oh, and I think that a couple of the other people who were on commented and said the same thing, that, you know, just what you were saying was just really on point. So that's definitely what I would go with. And then Marion, I know you have so many changes going on, so many cool things going on. Tell us what you're up to.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Gosh, I'm learning so much about crystals right now. It's like there's like so many different levels. I'm working a lot with the crystal skulls, and this full moon, you know, I can't sleep during full moon, so sorry I'm late. I was like, oh my God, it's 11 o'clock. So what I did was I got a new Merkaba, and I did a meditation with the Merkaba and the crystal skull. And what happened was it started showing me all these past lives, but like I was a witch doing, you know, getting the water treatment in the chair, and then I was a little boy running from the Vikings, and I'm like, oh my God, why are you showing these horrible things? You know, what is this? Why do I have to know this? And it was all about comforting that myself in those lives, basically, comforting and releasing the fear. So there's still a lot of releasing of fears that we're doing, and it's just getting stronger and stronger. Now that Mercury's coming out of retrograde, it's actually stationary. I mean, Daya knows more about this than I do, but as it goes forward, then we're able to push. So I think they're really moving me to work at really far deeper levels. I'm doing a lot of starseed origin connections, a lot of the soul connections, you know, with Allorah, yourself, and I, and now we're working with somebody new, and really finding about our purpose here as star seeds, and our purpose here as these old souls from Atlantis and Lemuria, about healing this earth, and in turn healing not only the world but the universe. So I know maybe Allorah wants to jump in with that a little bit later, about what she saw. Maybe she'd like to share. So I'm going to be starting, I've gotten so many messages last night about new products that they want me to start creating. So next month is my anniversary month, and of course Debbie and I will be together. So I'm really being guided. Debbie doesn't know this yet, but this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing candle ceremony with the skulls at these sacred sites that are here in Miami, which were found when they were digging up some places in Brickell Avenue in downtown, and they found these Tequesta Indian circles, and one is a burial ground. So there's some, you know, pretty powerful energies, and now they just found, I don't know, next to some little shop or something, there's a well of water that wells up, and it's supposed to be a sacred well. And so we're definitely going to be doing a lot of good stuff with that, and working a lot more with the crystal skull. They're really powerful, and their messages that are coming in are really healing and directing us in new ways, in multidimensional ways. You know, past lives are not past lives. They're parallel. They're multidimensional. They're happening now. And as we're able to access these multidimensional lives and heal things in those lives, or bring wondrous things that we see in those lives to this dimension and create things. So lot of powerful, transformative. I'm sure I'm gonna have like a giveaway, and we're gonna have interviews. So wow, Okay, sorry.
What?
Talking about it already.
Sorry. Oh, speaking to the group. Damn it. All right, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I got like 10 things going on over here. It's just anyway. So, but
always the
Marion, talk about because I know you updated your website, you changed services a little bit. What did you add to the website?
Well, I just tried to make it a little bit more user friendly, and you know, I broke it down into all the services. I broke it down into the Akashic readings, which are 30 minutes or half or an hour. Of course, the rainbow energy healing readings, and then I have a list if you want specific areas of your life, like karmic readings. So karmic meaning twin flame, life purpose, or prosperity and abundance. And then, of course, I just decided to add several different tarot and oracle card spread readings. So I kind of have like a price range for everyone. So the least expensive is like a 1111, and it's a 1 question, 3 card reading. And then we go from there. We go 5 card readings. I'm also doing a very special angel card reading, specifically using the Angels of Atlantis and the Angel Heart Sigils by Stuart Pearce, because you know they just have amazing energies. And then my main focus that I've been trying to give out and as a special is my monthly subscription. The monthly subscription is only $70, but it includes a rainbow healing, a karmic path reading, and the people will get weekly updates, like specific to them from the Akashics. Like I'll send you a little email with, you know, what you could expect this week, or what you need to focus on, or what you need to work on. And then as a little throw-in bonus, a 1 question, 3 card reading. So it's like, for all of that, that's like over $100 and something value, and you get it for $70. So, because I had some people requesting like, oh, I want the different services. So I thought I'd put it together as a package so that people could take advantage of it. Because really, the rainbow healing alone is, it's amazing. The energies are just going to another level, which allow me to really heal you at different levels. It allows me to heal you multidimensionally. Through all the chakras, through all the meridians, and it works also on the physical, the spiritual, and the mental bodies. And it also works, now I'm seeing, through multi-dimensions in different starseed, Lemurian, Atlantis origins. It's just crazy, all the information that's coming through. It's just like everything else, multi-levels, multiple meanings, multiple healing. So definitely, if somebody's interested, they should inbox me, because I have a few spots left for the month, so we could start the month of August like with a real bang.
Well, I know. I find I would, I would love that. Being able to get somebody to, just work monthly with me, because I know when I work with my clients, it's never a one-shot deal. You're always there. It's always usually a work in progress, and they have to come back to me anyway. So to be able to do it on a monthly basis, I think is awesome. All right, so we wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on astrologically. So anybody can jump in at any time if you know anything. We're going to be talking about, I know we're coming out of Mercury retrograde, full moon in Aquarius, and you ladies were talking about a trine, grand trine.
Okay, you want to go, Allorah, and I don't know, and I'll just explain it or whatever.
Okay, it's not a grand trine. It's 2 grand trines coming together to make. It's actually making the Merkaba, or the Star of David, in the sky. It's making a 6-pointed star, basically, and the 2 astrological signs that are involved are Virgo and Pisces, and it's basically the grand water trine that just formed for us, and then a trine is also going to form with Pluto, Venus, and the supermoon, and they're going to come together and make a grand sextile. Go ahead, Glammie, start laughing.
Okay, they try to make it. I guess, to dumb it down, to make it. I don't even want to use the word dumb it down, but too late.
These people are stupid.
I was thinking the word layman's terms, but I can't
No,
get it
do
off my
it.
mouth.
Yes, do it for people like me. Dummy it down.
I'm sorry. I meant to put it in layman's terms. What's happening? And I actually did find it in my notes after I had to look it up and go, what did she talk about? Sex on duh. I already had. When you said Merkaba, it threw me off, but I do have it in my notes. What's happening is, like she said, you having all the planets lining up, and the way to line up, they're making the two triangles, one up, one down, and the one on top of the other is what the Merkaba is. If I can, I don't know my pendulum's at, but anyway, one on top of the other is the Merkaba, and with which Allorah Rayne is talking about. Venus is going into Virgo, while the higher octave of Venus, which is Neptune, is going into Pisces. So with those two, and it's like I'm looking right at it. With those two, it's like a real crazy energies. Venus is all about your material wealth, your all the everything you find beautiful around you. If that's going to Virgo's the great analyzer. So you can start analyzing all your material things, and at the same exact time, you have Neptune, which goes into your inner wealth, your beauty, your spirit, and that's going to Pisces. And Pisces is one of those planets where they're either for you or against you. So it's going to be, thank you. Pisces is one of those planets where they're either for you or against you. And with them two going together, it's going to be like kind of hard to balance it out. And also within that grain trine, you have Saturn going into Scorpio. Now, with Saturn going into Scorpio, everybody know that's our karmic return. But with it going into Scorpio, that's going into our deep, hidden karmic return, stuff that we may not even know about, stuff that we hid from others. Everything's starting to come out. It seems like everything is going to a real deep cleansing. We also got Jupiter that's going into Cancer, Jupiter and Cancer, and with Jupiter and Cancer, we notice our expansion. Cancer is our emotions. So this is like a crazy emotional time where everything is coming up. Where anything and everything is coming up, past lives, this life, hitting things you didn't know how other people felt about you, things you didn't realize you felt about other people, anything and everything seems like it's coming up right now in order for everything to be cleaned out so we can get a clean slate in order to wherever the heck we're about to go after this. But and it is forming a Merkaba, so what's forming a Merkaba is a whole new energy vortex that's being opened up.
So you mean this is why people are things are coming up that were repressed?
Yeah. Yes. Yes, all this stuff is coming up. Then you got the full moon. The full moon's actually not going to be in Aquarius. It's going to be what they call void of course, which means it's going to be in between two signs. So the full moon's actually going to be between Capricorn and Aquarius. So you have both of those energies in the full moon.
Wow.
You might want to say something to any practitioners out there that even though it's a great full supermoon, it's void of course. So anything you do, any magic you do, won't manifest, won't hold.
Well, no, it can hold, it can manifest depending on how you work it. Because I work with void of course a lot of times. It's just that if you're trying to work with that full Aquarius energy to really work that, it's not going to work. You have to work with both energies, Aquarius and Capricorn, and know that both is going to be attached. The reason why it don't work for a lot of people when the moon is void of course is because they don't realize they're working with two different energies as opposed to one. So it can work. I've worked it, but for most people it doesn't because they think they only work with one energy, and then when it tries to manifest, it gets all messed up.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like for the majority of practitioners, we have no idea.
They have to change it up a little bit and add the two energies. But so is this a super full moon tomorrow?
Yes, it's the last one, I believe. This is the third in a row, or third this year or something?
Yeah, the third.
Yes.
I think this is the third, at the third and last one.
We had one in May, then we had the June one in Capricorn, I remember, because that was mine.
Yeah.
And now we have this one.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Because I can feel the energies. I mean, I did a meditation today that was outstanding. I was just like, wow, that's crazy. All right, so then let's start talking about, we did that. John, I was interested in you talking about a little bit about this, I think you said the Tree of Life upside down. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. So, oh, there you go.
It in order, to know about Basically, I'm gonna get into quarantine and how this is gonna fit into the reverse tree of life. Basically, like if you watch the last Hangout, I talked about quarantine and like how like there's like a little shield over Earth. Um, this this computer doesn't have a webcam, so I can't really show you, but I'm gonna try to explain it the best way I can. But basically, it's like a little shield over Earth, and it basically stops the higher forces, the lower forces. Now, basically, what that has to do with as time progresses, it will lift. I mean, as we speak now, it already is lifting, um, and a lot of more negative energies have slipped through, as we could probably tell. But of it is like you do have good and bad, but the thing is like I know I said this in the last time. It's better to start preparing for stuff now and start getting yourself spiritually ready now, and just start taking things more seriously now than waiting for like a big drastic change, because I know that's what a lot of people want to see. And in reality, that's not what you want to see, because that's when stuff is already going to happen. So you should always be prepared, spiritually and physically, because physically, we are going to probably have to learn how to survive, because we may not have the option of going to the store and getting groceries and stuff. So it's good to sharpen up on your survival skills and things of that nature. When it
Well,
comes to
John, hey, hold on,
evolution,
John, wait,
like
John.
I said, it does block higher and lower forces, but it's also just different energies in general. If you do your stuff right,
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, I wanted you. You're talking really fast, so I want to kind of kind of explain what you're saying. So the last time that we were on, you talked about this quarantine, and and the beginning of it. So kind of backtrack a little bit and explain what the quarantine is, and then we can get into talking about like what you think and what we were talking about is possibly going to happen with having to get supplies and things like that. So what exactly is the quarantine? Can you
Well,
guys hear me?
basically, it's like force field over that. It was mainly put there for our evolution, but it's supposed to help us grow with our evolution. But as humans now are not really taking our evolution seriously, so that way now it's more like a prison than more like a for them to help us. But basically, it's just there to keep you there, so that way you can realize what you've done in past lives and past regressions and things of that nature, and actually set like when you die in this lifetime, if you get all your energy together, and if you can keep your memories, that they're supposed to actually take you into a higher realm. And which immortality has to do with quarantine as well, because when you're immortal, and if you're a very good high level immortal, most immortals can keep the memories after death. So this has to do a lot with the physical life and the afterlife, because a lot of people when they die, and the reason why they keep reincarnating as different people is because the fact that their electrical charge is not high enough, and they probably can't keep the memories. That way they can't actually ascend to a higher realm. So they come back into this realm trying to learn the past progressions and things of that nature. That's why it's good to um I know Allorah had this exercise where clear up past karma and stuff like that. I recommend people to start doing that, because that actually will help, because you're gonna need that type of stuff for to clear out your energy, and for you to actually ascend into a higher up, and to be able to maintain bigger energies inside you. Because a lot of people think that the Harry Potter stuff is just make believe. In reality, it really isn't. It's just people who do that don't go showing it off, and they have a
Right.
higher level of energy than a normal average person. That's the real key. People who do that type of stuff are not gonna go in Walmart and be like, hey, look what I can do. Like they don't do that.
Okay, so I'm going to try to sum it up.
But
Let me just explain what I think
like,
you're trying to say.
oh, sorry, you were talking.
Okay.
But
So what you're
sorry if I.
saying is that the quarantine is basically making everybody have to deal with their karma and deal with everything that they keep reincarnating and not learning the lessons and not getting it right, and so therefore they're not getting it. But the quarantine is making people have to just face it, so that we can all kind of just start getting to a higher vibrational level by handling our karma. Is that right?
Well, that makes total sense with what
Yes,
was going on with
sorry,
me
I'm delayed.
yesterday. Sorry, John.
Okay, John, go ahead.
Sorry, what do you want me to talk about? About
You can just keep. You can. I just had wanted to sum up
I
what you
couldn't
were
really hear you
saying.
that well because it's like going in and out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, can I say something fast then while we're waiting? One thing
Oh,
he
okay.
talked
All right, never
one
mind.
thing
I got you.
one thing John talked about was everybody saving up their food. I would suggest, honestly, while saving the food, also for people to look into what a breatharian is, and that will help a lot. Breatharian is somebody who actually lives off of their breath. They just live off of breathing in energy.
Yes,
And it's
yes,
like the next stage. That's why a lot of people are juicing. When you get to juicing, the next stage will be just a breatharian, and that's why a lot of people are going into like veganism and then juicing and then going up in that like that. That will help a whole lot when whatever thing's about to go down, everybody's going crazy. One, you won't have anything for them to take, and then two, you can live for a long time off of breatharian, and there's already a few breatharians out there. One guy,
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but he's on YouTube. Actually, it's a couple on YouTube who had a baby, and there's another guy who's just by himself, who's a breatharian, and that's something really good to get into and start looking into and learn how to pull energies in from the universe as opposed to eating. One of the things most people don't know is that our bodies do not have to eat. We've been trained to eat. We've been subliminally trained and physically trained to intake food from the actual earth when our bodies really don't need it. Like a lot of times they tell you, that little grumble in your tummy is hunger. No, that grumble in your tummy is actually your tummy going back to the size it's supposed to be. But we've been taught to think that it's hunger, and it's really not. So that's one thing. I'm not saying to go ahead. This is another reason why, one of the other reasons why the Bible says to fast and do all that other stuff. Because when you're fasting, you start to change your chemical makeup. You start to realize what your body needs, what your body don't need, what your body can do without, what your body's addicted to, and then you can start changing behaviors and start changing your reality.
That's interesting because I just saw this guy, I think it was on YouTube, how he actually eats like maybe 4 times a year. And he like some small amount or something, but basically that's what he is, a how do you say it? Breatharian?
Breatharian. Yeah.
Breatharian, okay. Well, so I thought that was really interesting. I'm like, okay, wow. All right, well, I'm not there yet, that's for sure.
Yeah,
but
I ain't there yet.
I went backwards. I went back to eating meat, so I went the wrong direction.
There's also something called pranayama, which is focusing on meditation with breathing.
Yes.
And a lot of it's dealing with squaring your breathing. So if you breathe in for 3 seconds, you hold it for 3 seconds, and you release it for 3 seconds. It's a really good start for anyone. Also, as far as like karmic stuff, there's a meditation for Buddhists. They call it the metta meditation, METTA, where you release all your anger and everything. You even wish your enemies well. I mean, it's a really good start if someone's looking into releasing all that negative energy from themselves.
Yeah, for sure. And well, and even Chopra always has a very, when he does all his 21-day meditations, like, in conjunction with Oprah and all that type of stuff. I love his so hum meditation. It's just breathing in, saying so to yourself, and breathing out, saying hum. And that really regulates your body. I mean, physically, we know this scientifically, that breathing at a much like a deeper breath into the stomach area, and then really filling your lungs, and then holding it, allows the mind to calm, because when you're focused on your breath, you basically calm your monkey mind. So it is the monkey mind that creates all of the disharmony in our body by these stressful thoughts, by thoughts of being resentful or pain or hurt. So really a regulation for anyone who's never done anything, and they just can't say, oh, I cannot meditate. Then I always recommend you could breathe in and you can breathe out, right? Okay, that's all you got to do. Just focus on that for 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 1 minute, work your way up, and you will soon start finding that you enjoy the peace and calm of mind that you get with just breathing in and out. I just wanted to say, and Allorah pointed out, we're not advocating that everybody just go to breathing and not eat, but we're just talking about these instances of things that we've really, maybe you heard about it, a yogi doing it on the top of a mountain or Buddha or something, but it wasn't really like the common person. It is still not the common person, but these are people who are spiritually evolved and have decided, leading this, purification of life. And as in all things, what we advocate is a balance that feels right for you. Each person is different. Each person is on a different path. Each person's on a different level of spiritual attainment and enlightenment in their life. So whatever is right for you, always checking with your doctors, checking with your inner self as to what is the right path. So we're not advocating anything, drastic for anyone. We're just making comments here and just chit-chatting. So just want to put that out there.
So while she said that, I'm put that out there real fast too. With breatharianism, you don't just go from eating meat and steak and potatoes to just stop eating it all. No, you don't do that. There's stages to it. There's meat, then there's vegetarianism, then there's veganism, then there's raw food vegan, then there's juicing. And when you get to juicing, then possibly you can get to a breatharianism. It's not just like you can just go from, your everyday diet and just go, well, I'm just not going to eat no more. Your body's not used to it. That's like a drug addict just quitting without nothing in between. You keep stuff. You don't do that. So yeah.
I just love doing these talks because I've never heard of that, and it's fascinating to me because it makes total sense. Not that I'm gonna do it, but it makes sense. John, we're gonna get back to you, but I wanted to give other people a chance just real quick. Allorah, did you still want to talk about? We were kind of talking about a little bit about the angels and.
Yeah, I actually.
Okay, cool.
No, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about the other angels because, we hear about, all the time in our, spiritual path, we hear about the same four: Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, and Raphael. And the interesting part is that all four of those angels are present in almost every religion. Well, they are present in every religion. They remain the same throughout Christianity, Judaism, But when you go through the different religions, you find that there are lots of different archangels and who uses what names and which ones are actually, there's one named Jophiel, I believe, but he also has like 3 other names, depending on what faith you're looking at. But what I thought was really interesting, and I have to get this out because this is just, okay. So what I thought was really interesting is the archangels are actually the second lowest choir of angels.
Yes.
Can you believe that?
No. I heard that too.
So the way the angel choirs go, there's 9. And this where I'm getting this resource from is it's called Sarah's Archangels, and I'll probably put the link down when we finish this. But she looks at it from an occult perspective, but also looks at it from all religions, all walks of life. But anyway, there are 9 choirs. And so it goes angels, archangels, principalities, and those 3 govern together the world, our world. And then you have the angels of the cosmos, and they're in charge of our universe, or the universes, all the universes. So it's the virtues, the powers, and the dominions. And then you have the top choir, who are in charge of all of creation. And they're the thrones, the cherubim, and the seraphim. So what's really funny is all those cute little fat baby angels you see are the second choir in all of creation. Wow. And like seraphim, I believe it's the seraphim, have 6 wings, 2 over their eyes, 2 over their feet, and 2 on their back.
Wow.
I know. I was like, what? Yeah. So I mean, it's so funny because everybody thinks that the archangels are just, the top shit, and they're not.
It's crazy.
They're like at the bottom.
That's scary for me. I'm just like, oh my gosh. When I didn't realize that either, that there were others. But you know, one of the other angels I know that Daya had told me about to work with was Sedhiel. And so, of course, she steps away because she knows a little bit about Sedhiel, but she told me that that was a neutral, quote unquote, neutral angel, not good, not bad, not for people, not against people. So I thought that was really interesting. I wanted to get some more information about Sedhiel.
Yeah, and with all the religions, I mean, if you combine them and look at all the different names, basically you're looking at anywhere from 12 to 15 in the entire archangel bracket, and then depending on which faith you're looking at. But most religions too name 7 that stay like by the side of God all the time. But it just depends which religion you're looking at as to which 7 those are. But yeah, what I thought was interesting was in every religion there are Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel, no matter what. So, and I think that's important to tell people that, angels transcend religion.
Yeah, non-denominational.
AM.
Do what now? I'm sorry.
I said they're non-denominational. They don't belong to, they're just across the board before even religions were made, so they're across the board.
Right.
And then Daya, I was talking about a little bit about how you told me to work with Sedhiel, who is a neutral angel.
Does he have another name?
Or how do you spell that?
I wrote it down. I gotta look at my notes. I wrote it down because what happened was I was channeling what I was doing for Glammie, and I really don't know this angel, other than she told me she's a female.
Maybe his name is Zadkiel.
No, it's not Zadkiel. It starts with an S. It's Sadiqiel or something like that.
It's Sedhiel. Sedhiel. Siedhiel. I tried getting information and I couldn't find it, but I did talk to somebody who had heard of Sedhiel. So, but he just must be really obscure. Or she.
Gabrielle.
Yeah, the only thing she gave me was that she's a female and she's like above. There's certain angels that work for good, there's certain angels that work for evil, and she says she's above that. So, good and evil don't affect her in a way that it affects us. And she's like one of the higher level ones. That's the only thing that I haven't talked to her since. She only came through when I was talking to Glammie, and I said, Glammie, look it up. I'm not into angels or angelology, so I have no idea.
She might be she might not be an archangel. She might be seraphim or throne or something else,
Yeah, that's what she was saying. She's not an archangel. She's definitely not an archangel.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad you brought up the seraphim, because a lot of people think that with this day and age, with everything being so beautified and everything looking quote unquote beauty, the angels don't look the way we think they do. They look more like monsters. And people don't realize that once you get up a certain level, they're not these beautiful, angelic, androgynous looking people. They would be more compared to monsters compared to what we're used to. And that's why they don't show ourselves to us or work with us on that basis, because we've been so dumbed down on what we think beauty is supposed to be. So since we've been desensitized to what things actually look like, they don't really show their true nature the way they are. They really look like, and I know it sounds evil and mean, but they're not the beauty standard that we have set for ourselves today. To make it
that makes sense.
That makes total sense, because when I was talking to Allorah and Debbie about Draconia and dragons, and they have this really bad, they're reptilian, they're really bad, blah blah blah, and I'm like, no, they're not. They're just dragons. Like, that's what they are, and so it's neither evil or good. It's just that is their nature. So we're judging from our own perspective versus a global view of that we are all different and that we are just, this is just the way the element of that particular race of beings are. So we cannot judge them from our perspective here on Earth. So that would make total sense of the seraphim, which, if you think about it, they should be a complete balance, like as godlike or as universal as we can imagine, of that combination a balance of all properties, having both what we term as good and what we term as bad. Again, not using our 3D perspective here, but they are a balance of all of these elements in order to encompass all, because we are all one. So if we are all one, then we are everything, and that's our whole objective here, is try to live our life in a balance, which is what we talked about on Peppermint Juju. What is ego? And I talked about, and Di, I know you did a video on it the other day, and I so resonated with the ego video, because you talked about that it serves a purpose. So I know I'm going off onto 10 million tangents, but sorry.
That's fine. That's what we do. But Allorah, you were going to jump in real quick and say something.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, if you actually look at the word seraphim, it means fiery serpent. So there, you can imagine what they look like.
Wow.
Oh my God, they're probably draconian.
That's so funny.
And another thing that's really interesting is, guardian angels. People talk about the angel by my side and all this stuff. Those are all man-made. It is a choir of angel, but they're not. The angels don't really start until you get to the archangels. If you go back and look into angelology, yeah, and cherubim, yeah, they don't look like fat little babies. I hate to tell you.
And John, since you're just joining us, and I don't know if you want to add anything to this, we're talking about the different choirs of angels, and how some of them are just neutral, some are not just all good, some are bad. I mean, there's a different, we have a different perception of what the angels are, and we were just kind of shedding some light on the different types of angels and how they're non-denominational. They're just across the board, across all religions, because they were before religion. Did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah. From alchemy perspective, there's there's a lot of different types. I know when I was talking about the tree of life, each angel governs a certain sephira of the tree of life. Now, the realm that we're on, Malkuth, is governed by Archangel Sandalphon, and the different top one. Well, he is the top one at Keitha, but there's obviously ones that are above him, which goes against like I said, there's different levels of angels. There's certain angels that people may think like there's ones that are very dark, and I don't mean dark as in evil, and you guys really know that, but they're dark energy intelligences, and they're not negative at all. To are actually associated with our universe, because if you look at our universe, we don't live in a white matter universe. We live in a dark matter universe. And if you go into space, what do you see? You see a lot of darkness. That's because that has to do with the dark terrestrials. A dark terrestrial is the angel who created our specific universe. Now you have the white terrestrials, which are a bit different, which are more towards the masculine side, I guess you could say. But the white terrestrials are usually more associated with my part of the tree of life, and the dark terrestrials are more associated with the Bina part of the tree of life. You also have the ones that are above both the dark and white terrestrials. You have the but those will be called the Keith Reals, which are associated with the Keith part of the tree of life, and those will be violet energy intelligence. I mean, they can't take physical form, but the thing is with those angels, most even perceive them or even know about them, because those type of angels don't even interact with us at all. Right now, whatever. But with that, I just lost my train of thought. But with the ones above it, um, the higher keepers, and then there's the higher version of the higher keepers. Now, for powers, I'm not gonna get into that, but they are like flame is actually the weakest light. But that's all I can really explain about that. I don't want to get too deep into that, but you can see like there's definitely an extensive variety of hierarchy of angels, and I'm pretty sure everybody noticed, but not all angels have wings. Like I said, like the angels that you see that have wings, yes, they're extremely powerful, but the formless angels that are just like like the dark structure and the white structure that are just omnipresent. Those are like the real servants of the source. I mean, not saying the other ones aren't, but like I said, there's different varieties, and feel like you can tap into them. It's very possible if you're very advanced high level cultist. You can definitely tap into the power. But the thing is, a lot of people want to get into the angel stuff because I know I talked about it before. And like somebody asked me how to tap into the dark matter angels, and like you can't really do that unless you build yourself up, like as taking baby steps and building yourself up. Because if you try to contact that type of energy, your bones are gonna melt. So there's a lot of stuff that people don't really acknowledge when it comes to tapping into the angels. Of course, when you do tap into it, it's like like you're like a badass that like you can override anybody from any system if you can tap into the angels at full power.
I agree with that, and I feel like we're gonna have to do something like next time John gets on, we're gonna have to like ask Archangel Michael to come in, because I feel like John, I love everything you have to say, and I feel like you're like always being interfered with, and I think it's done purposely because I know Daya and I have had this problem where we try to communicate, and oh my gosh, we got our Skype call got dropped. Then you try this, we try that, and it's when we start talking about certain things, voices come through. I mean, it's just really crazy. So I definitely want to hear what you're having to say. Talking about angels, real quick. If you guys see, I have two videos. One.
Just talking.
Okay, one I named Angel Orbs, and if you look at that video, you'll see orbs coming through there. Sorry.
We all know how kids is, girl. Ain't nobody worry about that.
Anyway, I have two videos with angel orbs, and it almost looks like little flashes of wings, but they're really just energy signatures. There's that one, angel orbs, and then no doubt. And then the other one is the one I did for June 3rd to June 9th. You can see something come across the screen in front of the cards and then go that way. So really, really crazy.
Well,
anyway,
well, I just wanted to say real quick because angels, for me, it makes me nervous because I don't think most of the population realizes what what they
really are.
Yes, and I don't think they understand, like, calling on the angels, like, I don't know. I want to say it's just as serious, if not more serious, than calling on elementals. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you call elementals into your circle, like, there's a specific way to do it and all this stuff. And most practitioners are taught about that because, you don't want to have an elemental loose in your house and, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, it's like, you're talking about calling in Archangel Michael. And though he's, like, really protective, like, Archangel Michael is, like, he will smite.
Yeah, he's fierce.
Most people don't know that Archangel Michael is not light. He's actually neutral, and most people don't know that. So when you call on him, he may smite you at the same time, and he smite whatever else.
Exactly. So I don't want people going out there just like, I'm gonna call on Angel so and so, and then they do, and then something not good happens, and they're like, I don't understand. And you're like, well. Oh, and second of all, Marianne, just real quick, when you were talking about draconians and all that stuff, I've actually, somebody else brought this up to me yesterday, I believe, and I've decided that I need to just do a video series on the different races of extraterrestrial beings and the politics behind extraterrestrials, because one thing everybody needs to understand when we're talking about extraterrestrial beings is they have very similar problems as humans. They have very similar political and social structures as humans do. So, you know, this idea that they're all love and light and we're going to all ascend into, no. No, that is not how it is. I mean,
I completely agree with you, because I tried telling somebody that, and that I'm sorry that there are, you know, that there are levels, and there is a hierarchy for certain things, and you know, and they got upset. They were like,
people
no,
don't want to hear it. People don't want to
hear it. And they don't want to hear that there's politics, that there's egos. Yes, they have egos. And I was shut down, and I was like, okay, you know, that's you know, it makes sense to me, but you know, whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna have to shut this down, guys. My kids are going nuts. Is there anybody who wants to say anything last minute that they need to bring up or talk about? You're all good? Anybody? All right, guys, we'll have to do this again in another couple weeks, and I love the way that this goes, because we never know what the hell we're going to talk about. We know what we're going to start out with, but we don't know what we're going to end up with. So awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to end this. It's going to be the awkward moment here.